My name is Rafael Gonzalez. I work for financial aid as a financial aid coordinator for Laredo College. It's going to be my pleasure to present for you guys. So, what is financial aid? If anybody can look at the screen right now, financial aid is money to help to pay for your tuition for your college, right? Now, financial aid is made up of multiple ways. It's made of grants, scholarships, work study, loans, and other. So we don't just offer the federal Pell Grant, we also offer the TPEGS, which is the Texas Public Education Grant, the TEOG, which is the Texas Education Grant, and the FSEOG. So a scholarship basically is anything that you would apply to that requires a merit, right? Regarding the scholarships, there's multiple ways of applying for them. That being said, you do have to meet certain requirements in order for you to be eligible. Depending on your career path or anything of the sorts, that's what scholarships are made of, and that's how you can receive them if you're eligible. A work study is exactly what it sounds like. It's people who are students and they're employees. They work and they study, right? And it helps compensate for financial need that is still unmet. So if that's something that interests you, and if you meet the criteria, then by all means, that's another option that we can explore. Essentially, it is a borrowing of money from either the federal government or a banking system or any sort of financial entity or institution, with the condition that you'll pay that money back, usually with interest. Now, as far as loans here, we'll discuss that because people are under the impression that we offer loans here. I'll go into clarification on that. As for the last part, we do have emergency loans and installment plans. It's mainly just plans that you create with the Laredo College institution regarding payment, right? And I'll discuss that a little bit more thoroughly during our presentation. So who's eligible for financial aid? If you are a U.S. citizen, you have a valid social security number, and you are enrolled or accepted for enrollment in an eligible program, such as having a certificate, an associate's, or a bachelor's as a major, then you are eligible. Now, if you do already have a bachelor's, I don't know if anybody does have one, but if you do, then that automatically would disqualify you from receiving financial aid, at least for the Pell Grant. So applying for financial aid, we do have free applications of federal student aid, which are the FAFSA forms. I'm sure most of you have completed them and are familiar with them. If you're not, this is where we review that. It determines your federal aid eligibility by gathering your information, such as your income, your student aid index, all that good stuff. That's what's going to determine how much aid you're going to receive, and if you're eligible, how much money you're going to receive. Many scholarships require the students to complete an application. And the reality is, regarding LC, you're going to need a FAFSA application if you want to apply for scholarships, if you want to apply for work study, if you want to apply for any sort of student aid. This is going to be your avenue. This is your golden ticket. So it's very important that you complete this and you put a sense of urgency. If you were a graduating senior, your staff at the institution that you came from or the high school that you came from should have helped you guys out in completing a FAFSA application. If they did not, for whatever reason, that's where we come in. That's where we can provide those answers. That's where we can guide you. That's where we can help you out. Regarding these applications though, they do have to be done every year. So applications open up every October. So October 1st of every year, you'll have the applications open up for the following school year. So this October 1st, we should be having the ones for 2027, 2028. I encourage you guys to apply to those as soon as possible. And the reason I say that is it takes time to reiterate every detail in a FAFSA account. Sometimes you're selected for verification. That takes time. And if you're running on a crunch because you applied late, that could interfere with you receiving a refund or your college tuition being paid for, which is the last thing I want for you guys to go through. It's very tedious, it's very much a nuisance, if anything. So scholarships. I know that we touched on it briefly, but regarding the scholarship opportunities that we have. So there's multiple websites that you can search on independently as it is. We have the careeronestop.org, we have the fastweb.com. But essentially what the scholarships are, they're just tickets for receiving extra funds, essentially. They're opportunities. So regarding these opportunities, what you need to look into is what your field of major is, what your GPA is, what your academic performance is, and most importantly, the underlying details of each application. By completing those things, it'll put you in an opportunity to not just receive these funds, but to further your education down the line. We also offer the Palominos Scholar Dollars. So we actually have our own website. It's called the Palominos Scholar Dollars. So whenever you actually log in to your passport, it's going to be under your student links area. And what it basically offers is a search engine, if you will, that can filter out the exact scholarships that you may apply for, that you qualify for. So if you're a nursing major and your GPA is at a certain threshold, you know that you're only going to be able to qualify for the scholarships related to that. That's where this comes in. This shortens the search for you because there's a lot of opportunities, and rather than you having to go one by one, it simplifies it. So, pretty neat tool, huh? It continues to be refined. So, I can tell you guys this, it's something that you need to guys take the time to look into, take the time to, I guess, take a gander at it every so often. Scholarship opportunities change every semester. So be on the lookout for them. If you didn't qualify for them at one point, that doesn't mean that you don't qualify for them ever, right? And just because you qualified for them at one point, doesn't mean that you always will. So that's why it's important to also keep up with your academic performance. And this is just touches base a little bit more on how to access the Palominos Scholar Dollars. So as you can see, as I explained earlier, on the student links, you'll have that link right there for Palominos Scholar Dollars opportunities. You'll also have that QR code. You're more than welcome to scan it. If not, that's totally fine. We can go over that with you later on today and through the presentation. It's same thing as I explained. So how it works, you just want to fit in your criteria. You'll be directed to a series of questions to begin building the profile. Your student is required to answer at least questions in order to view the matched scholarships. After each question, the matches and opportunity boxes in the top right corner will be updated with the new scholarship opportunities. And in order for you to access that, just ensure to create and claim your account for Passport. So it's going to be your email address for the college. So in my experience, it's rgonzalez9353, right? That would be my login. Whatever your login is, let's say it's your name is Jose Robles, it would be J Robles and then 1234, whatever number sequence follows that. You would just put that. Your password will be created when your account is claimed. So normally it will be your date of birth. After you log in for the first time, that's when you'll reset your password and you'll be able to log in. Moving forward, we're in the work study and student employment area. So we touched base a little bit on this as well. So what is student employment? And what is a work study? So the differences lie in if the student has unmet need or not. So if you have unmet need financially, let's say Pell Grant was not enough to cover for your tuition, that's where this comes in as a work study. However, If you do have your needs met for financial compensation for your tuition, then that's where you would be categorized as a student employee. So there is a difference. Now, as far as the requirements, to be either or, you do have to be in good academic standing. So you do have to maintain a 2.0 GPA. You do have to maintain a pace of 67%, meaning you have to be completing 67% of your hours attempted at the college. You have to register for 12 credit hours in the fall and the spring. In the summer, it's 6, right? You can divide them either 3 and 3, summer 1 and summer 2, or you can do 6 all at once in one summer session. And you should have a complete FAFSA application. So, moving forward, determining financial aid eligibility. Remember that I stated earlier in the previous slide, GPA and PACE completion. While that is a requirement for student employees and work studies, that's also a requirement for every one of you to maintain eligibility to receive FAFSA. So as far as your federal regulations that mandate a student receiving financial assistance under federal Title IV programs, commonly known as Pell Grant, you must maintain satisfactory academic progress in their course of study. What does that mean? It means you need to maintain a 2.0 GPA minimum. You need to maintain a 67% passing rate of your attempted hours at the college, and you need to maintain your degree under the maximum time frame. The maximum time frame is determined based on your degree. So if you're doing a certificate, you're going to have a different maximum time frame as somebody who's going to be doing an associate's. Same goes for a bachelor's, right? 150% of the hours that are standardized by the federal government. The standard for an associate's degree is 60 hours. If it's 20 hours for a certificate, that means your maximum time frame is 30 hours. If it's 60 hours for an associate's, that means it's 90 hours for your maximum time frame. If it's a bachelor's degree, where it's 120 hours to get one, according to the federal government, then it's 180 hours for your maximum time frame. Regarding these examples that we have here, the different SAP statuses, if you're maintaining that 2.0 and that 67% completion percentage, you're meeting SAP standards every semester, meaning you're eligible for financial aid. If you don't meet it for a semester, this is where you fall into a warning. What does that mean? It means you did not meet the criteria for one semester, and basically you're placed under a warning notice or a probationary period. This is your opportunity to pick up your GPA, pick up your PACE, and get back to good standing. That doesn't mean that you're ineligible, but if this becomes a continued pattern, then it leads to the red part, which is suspension. That means you have not met the criteria for more than one semester, at which point you won't be eligible for financial aid. The only way that you'll be eligible for it will be by requesting an appeal, right? As far as the appeal opportunities, they are reviewed on a case-by-case basis. They do take time. Remember what I stated. Time is your best friend and your worst enemy, depending on how you use it and how you view it. So if any of you guys happen to be on the misfortune of falling under suspension, by all means, please reach out to us. Please come to financial aid so that we can help you guys. We want to help you guys pursue your academic endeavors. That being said, it does require transparency, it requires commitment, and it requires honesty. It's a two-way street, right? We can commit to doing everything in our power to help you guys, and at the same time, we need for you guys to cooperate and collaborate as well. Meet us halfway. And you do that by committing to submitting all the paperwork and following through with your statement. Because it does require a typed statement, actually, in order for you to fall into review. So here's the eligibility status actions. This is essentially what I just explained. Maintain satisfactory progress. Keep it up. You're doing fine. If you're on a warning, You ensure that you're passing your classes, right? This is your wake-up call. If you're in suspension, this is your time to pick up the ball. This is no longer a wake-up call, this is, I need to change, and I need to change now, right? It's not just a change for one semester either. This needs to continue. It becomes an ongoing process. So, you're gonna have to do an SAP appeal for that. And this is how to recover financial aid, again, if you fall under the category of suspension. You want to regain your financial aid eligibility. And why? Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make this education affordable, and it's going to make it easier for you guys as well. It's one less stress factor, honestly. Just maintain that 2.0 GPA, the pace of 67%, and the maximum time frame. Right? Keep that in mind. So what to expect after applying for financial aid? First, as I stated earlier, you must claim your account. Right? And what do I mean by that? This is how we're going to view if we're under eligibility, if we're under warning, if we're under suspension. You guys have that opportunity to view that every time that you log into your Passport account. That's exactly what I'm going to review on how you guys will access to that. This is how you access the self-service. So everybody go ahead and pull out your phones and go ahead and begin logging in to your Passport.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I think I saw all of you this morning. Bright and early, everybody was so quiet, and everybody's so excited this afternoon after lunch. Of course you're not falling asleep, because the only people who have permission to fall asleep are those that are going to pay out of pocket.
Okay.
Other than that, everybody needs to take a look at your financial aid package. All right, everyone, good afternoon. My name is Jessica Trevino. I am the Associate Vice President of Enrollment Management for Laredo College. It's a very long title to say. I have the wonderful privilege of overseeing anything from admissions, advising, recruitment, retention, financial aid, payment, your transcripts, registrars, and all that fun stuff. And Leo and Karina and Ale are also financial aid coordinators. Karina and Ale are here with us this afternoon, and they will be helping us. They will be helping us check and review your file. Okay? So a couple of things here this afternoon as Rafa continues to guide you through the process to check your financial aid. First of all, everybody's financial aid package is unique to you. Okay? Yours does not have to match the person sitting next to you, and vice versa, okay? Now, each one's financial aid package depends on your sole situation. I love it when I always get a parent or a friend or somebody that comes in and says, es que a la hija de mi vecina le dieron mucho dinero, right? We already talked about a financial aid package, and we talked about how to get mucho dinero, right? And we're going to look at all of that right now. So we're going to walk you through the process. We're going to walk you through seeing what requirements you're missing, and we're going to walk you through checking on your financial aid status. Some of you right now will see how much money you're being offered for the fall semester. Some of you will be able to see if you're getting a refund from the amount of money that we're offering you. And some of you will actually get to see how much you have to pay to come to college. Okay? So we're going to look at all of that. We're going to try to walk you through the process step by step to make sure that you can see. However, there's one thing that I do have to disclose this afternoon that is beyond our control. You will also be able to see if you are pending any financial aid requirements. If you are pending any financial aid requirements, for the most part, they are available for you to complete them online, except not right now. Okay? The portal that houses all of the forms that you can complete online is under maintenance today and will be back online tomorrow. So we're going to show you how to get there, but you're going to have to log in again tomorrow to complete any pending information. Okay? Questions? No? Last but not least, we really hope you're paying attention to the presentation. I do have some real cool prices that we are going to be giving away after our presentation in a series of questions and answers. Yes, somebody had a question. Great question. How do you usually get a refund? Do I walk around the college with a bunch of cash and giving it out? No, I do not. The refund comes to you in two ways. Just two ways, and that's it. Either a direct deposit is option number one, or our least favorite option, a paper check. And here's why it's my least favorite option, because it takes 2 extra weeks to get the paper check than it would for the direct deposit. Okay? In the direct deposit, you have 2 options. You get it to your personal bank account, or you get it to the bank mobile account that you have the option to get here at the college. Okay? Great question. All right. Everybody ready? So we can continue? All right. I'll let Rafa continue walking you through the process. We are going to be able to see your financial aid offer, but the campus student forms is still down. Okay? And I'll interject as we need. I'll also walk around in case anybody has any questions. Okay?
Perfect. So is everybody logged in right now on their student passport account? Yeah, everybody's good? No one needs any extra time or anything of the sorts? Okay, perfect. So when you log in to your passport, you're going to select the option for student self-service. Right here on my clicker. Under that, you'll see the Open Student Dashboard option. So go ahead and click that. If you don't see that, go ahead and select the option towards your top right corner, and you should see the 3 lines. You can select that, and it'll give you the option for student self-service, and you'll be able to open the student dashboard. I'm going to give you guys some time so you can access that. I'll give you about a minute.
All right, I see some of you are having trouble loading. That's exactly why we asked you to log into the Wi-Fi. Now I know some of you are going to tell me that you are logged into the Wi-Fi and you're still having trouble logging in. It's okay. Let it load. Log into Passport, click on Student Self-Service, open Dashboard, and click on Financial Aid. I'm going to give everybody about 30 seconds because I'm going to talk about the other links that are available for you on self-service. Okay? When you click self-service, something like this comes out that says My Records, okay? These are your records. It is your entire student record available for you online for you to view your information, okay? Personal information obviously contains your personal information, right? Phone number, email, address, etc. It's viewable for you there. If you need to update your phone number or your email at any point, you can do it automatically here. Okay? The only thing you cannot update on your own is your address. And there's a reason to that. A change of address may imply a change in the cost of your tuition based on where you live. Yes? Laredo, Texas, I'm going to correct that. Tax-paying Laredo, Texas residents to the Laredo College District will be charged in-district tuition. If you live outside the taxing district of the college, you will be charged an out-of-district tuition. If you live outside the state of Texas, you will be charged an out-of-state tuition. And if you live outside of the country, then you will be charged a foreign tuition. They are all different, and they all go up in the order that I just mentioned them to you. Okay? So, if you don't know how much you're paying or how you're paying, go in there and verify your personal information. Okay? Your academic records are just that. How many of you know exactly what GPA you're starting with college? We would hope it's 0 unless you've taken some college courses, then it's different. Yes? So if you don't know what GPA you're starting with, go in there and find out. The academic records tab will show you your class schedule, GPA, and your program. Okay? DegreeWorks. Everybody familiar with DegreeWorks? No? DegreeWorks will tell you exactly what classes you are missing to complete your degree. It'll tell you what classes apply towards your degree and what classes do not apply towards your degree. Last but not least, I'm going to skip financial aid because that's exactly what we're going to go over in a minute. I'm going to move over to the account summaries. The account summary will show you how much you have to pay for school, how much you're actually being charged for school, and if you have to make a payment, there's an online payment button there. Okay? Questions? Everybody logged in with financial aid? I'm starting to hear some rowdiness. I'm hoping that because you saw your financial aid awards, we're going to walk through those in a minute. Okay. What are we going to find on the home tab, Rafa?
Excellent. So on the home tab, as you can see right here, you're going to find that you're going to have every pending or submitted documentation that you guys have regarding the financial aid portion. So here's an example of what the home tab will look like. As you can see, we have the statement of rights and responsibilities, right? That's a form that every one of you guys will have to complete. That's a requirement. Over here, we also have the submit a copy of the high school diploma or official transcript. I know that some of you guys are still pending your final high school transcripts. So make sure to request those as soon as possible through parchment. Those are required as well in order for you to be eligible to receive financial aid. Okay? If you have submitted those documents, this is exactly what it should look like. You should have a green check mark next to these documents. If you have not submitted these documents, then it'll have a yellow triangle with a caution sign. Now the problem, as Ms. Trevino was stating earlier, we are currently having that website under maintenance right now. You're not going to be able to fill those sheets at the moment. We're hoping that we can get it up and running by the end of today. If not, you can log in tomorrow as well. We'd be more than happy to help you guys out and guide you through the step-by-step process into filling that out and what it corresponds to. Okay?
Some of you are asking as I'm walking around about your documents. You first have to make sure you are on the correct financial aid year. That drop-down box up there, for you, if you're starting in the fall semester, needs to read 2026-2027. That's your school year. Okay? If you're in a different aid year, you're looking at requirements from a different year. The summer term, any of you taking summer? Raise your hand if you're taking summer. Summer class, anybody? Okay, a few of you. Then that means you have another aid year, which is the 25-26, because summer is the end of the 25-26 school year. Okay? So make sure you're looking at the correct one, which is 26-27. Like Rafa mentioned, if you have all green check marks the way it's on the screen, you're good to go. No pending requirements. If you have yellow warning looking signs, the yellow warning signs that actually don't look too yellow anymore, they look like kind of mustardy, right? If you have yellow warning signs, that means you're pending something. The most common pending document that we have is either gonna be your student rights and responsibilities. It's an easy fix. You click on it, you complete it, not right now, tomorrow, because it's offline right now. And or your scholarship acknowledgement forms or your final high school transcript, okay? So those are missing. Word of advice, if you have at least one or any yellow warning signs, by the time we start class, your financial aid will not pay out. You have to complete everything ahead of time. We will have some time this afternoon where we will be at the Lerma Peña building. The financial aid team is ready, where we can help to see what you're missing. We won't be able to help you complete it today, but we'll be able to help tell you what you're missing. Okay? Questions so far? We're good? All right, are we going through the next steps?
Okay, if everybody's taken the time to already review, if you've completed those forms, or if you have them pending, let me know. Everybody's good? Okay. So, under the award offer section on your financial aid page, so next to the home, you'll find award offer. This is where you'll view your awards. It'll tell you in detail as to what you're qualifying for. If you're qualifying for Pell Grant, if you're qualifying for the TPEG, if you're qualifying for TEOG, if you qualify for a scholarship, such as the LC Academic Excellence Scholarship, if you qualify for Palomino Pledge, all of that's going to register here. This is going to give you the exact amount as to what you'll be receiving per semester.
Interrupt you real quick, Rafa, real quick. I'm getting a couple of questions because the first thing you see on this tab is cost of attendance. And some of you are asking me, wait, you're going to charge me for transportation? You're going to charge me for living expenses? The answer is no. The government requires us to give you an estimate of how much we think you may spend on transportation, on how much we think you may spend on books and supplies, okay? All of that together is called the cost of attendance. That helps us determine how much money we can actually give you. We cannot give you more than the cost of attendance. And that's not just us, that's any college or university. Cannot give you more than the cost of attendance. So that's why the estimates you see there may be a little high, so that we are able to make sure we account for inflation, the rising prices of gas, and all that fun stuff. That does not mean that is what you're gonna pay. That just means it's an estimated cost of what it could cost to come to college. Questions on the cost of attendance? They're all estimates, and it's just to establish your budget. When you scroll down is when you will see the grants and the scholarships that you will be getting divided by the semester in which you're getting them. You'll see them for fall and you'll see them for the spring semester. Yes? Everybody's gonna have a different package, but if you have questions on how to read your package, let me know. But it literally says grants and scholarships to pay for college, and it divides it for you for the fall or for the spring, and it keeps going down. Questions on that? That is the money, let me put it this way, that is the money that is almost in your hand. And the reason I say almost is because we have to make sure you come to class first before we actually give you the money. Yes? Questions up to there? We're good? All right, I'm gonna go back because there was a section on the homepage that some of you have been asking me about. Do we go back to the homepage ever, Rafa? No, right? All right, I'm gonna go back to the home tab. The home tab on the top. The home tab on the top has two blue squares. If you click the little arrow to expand it, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It has two blue squares and it says Fall 2026 Authorized Aid. Yes, everybody following those squares? Yes, I see some heads nodding. Okay. If you are already registered for classes, listen up. If you are already registered for classes, you will have your total term charges. That is how much your semester actually costs. Okay? Again, remember that the cost of your tuition depends on where you live. It's going to be different for everybody. It also depends on how many classes you're taking and the number of semester credit hours that you're taking. So your total term charges are there. Then you see total term payments. Some of you will see a 0. That means that you have not paid anything to the college. If you have made an out-of-pocket payment, it should be reflected there on your total term payments. Okay? Then we see authorized financial aid. And it's a negative number, right? That means that's the amount of money. Oh, just kidding, it's not a negative number, it's just a number. Your authorized financial aid will tell you how much financial aid has been authorized for the fall semester, okay? Lastly, we took the liberty of doing the math for you. In your fall 2026 balance, what we did, we took your authorized aid and we subtracted your total term charges, and we are telling you if you will be getting a refund or if you are going to have to pay. If your balance is negative, that means you have more financial aid than what we're charging you, and you will be getting a refund. Okay? If there is no negative sign on it and your amount is positive, that's the amount you have to pay to the college. Okay? Some of you right now may not have authorized aid yet because you're pending documents to submit. Okay? Questions on that blue square? No? All right, we good? All right, go ahead.
So regarding your awards for Pell Grants specifically, right? Most of you guys are going to already start comparing and contrasting your financial aid next to your peers. And you might notice some differences. And part of that is because of this. So there's a Pell recalculation that some of you guys will be subject to. And that's because of the hours that you're enrolled in. It's inadequate for somebody to be receiving the same amount of financial aid as a full-time student, but there's another student who's receiving the same aid and they're only taking 3 hours. They're only taking 1 class. Would you agree on that? So this is what happens. Regarding your award itself, initially you'll be calculated based on if you're a full-time student. So let's say if you're a full-time student, you would be calculated an approximate $3,000. But you're only going to be taking 6 hours. You're probably going to drop 2 classes before the semester starts. Are you going to get paid for 12 hours? No, you're not going to get paid for 12 hours. You're going to be paid for 6. That's the 8 that you're going to get. So if you qualified for 3,000 at 12 hours, at 6 hours you're going to qualify exactly for 50% of that, which is half. In other words, 1,500. Okay? So your refund might not be as large. It might still cover your tuition, it might not. It really just depends on your situation. But these recalculations are done just based off of the hours that you're registered on. This also applies for situations or instances in which you are repeating a class. So if it has been multiple times that you've attempted a class and you're trying to retake it because you want to improve it to an A, for example, there is a point where financial aid will no longer cover that. So even though you're a full-time student, you will not be compensated for that class because you've already been receiving aid for that class on more than one occasion. Do we have any questions on that thus far?
Several of the questions that I've been hearing, and that's the way exactly I'm walking the floor so that I can make sure I address the questions that are being asked. So a few questions. Some of you are recipients of the LC Excellence Scholarship, and you're pending to do two things. You're pending to accept it, and you're pending to complete the acknowledgement form. That has to be done at this moment in person at the Lerma Peña building. Remember I told you that at 4 o'clock we're going to have a session where you can come to the building and all of our offices are there, financial aid, admissions, scholarships, everybody. That's when you'll be able to complete it, okay? That's the first thing. The other thing that I'm getting a question on, actually, it seems that the forms may be back online. I think they're back online. So we have 5 minutes left of this presentation. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is, if you have a yellow warning sign or a caution sign, whatever you want to call it, and it is clickable, such as the student rights and responsibilities, I'm going to ask you to click on it and complete it right now. It'll be one less thing you have to worry about, and your packet will almost be complete. Your financial aid folder will be complete. When you click on it, if it's your first time logging in, you're going to have to register your account. The information must match exactly what you put on your FAFSA, which means your full legal name, your social security number, etc. Okay? Questions with the form? If it's your first time logging in, you're going to register your account, and then you'll be able to click on the form to continue the submission. Okay? Questions? Yes? Are they open questions? Not respective to your account. There you go, almost there. Register your account. Questions? Any other question? I don't want to take all the prizes back, so I want to ask you questions so I can start giving away those prizes.
Oh, ya me pasé por tu camarón.
So a question, I know some of you guys are asking regarding the e-sign at the very bottom of your student rights. You're gonna go ahead and create one if you haven't done so, right? It's a 5-digit code. It's going to ask you for your information, such as your name, your social security, and the 5-digit code that you're gonna wanna utilize. With that code, you'll be able to e-sign not just this document, but any document. So make sure that once you create that code, save it, put it on your notes tab on your phone, screenshot it, whatever it is that you need to do, so long as you have that handy.
All right, I have one more question. I'm being told that some of you may have gotten scholarships, for instance, from your school, directly from your school. If your high school gave you a check, or if your high school gave you a stipend of that sort, what do I do with it? You have to bring that check into the scholarship office, to the scholarship coordinator, so we can deposit the check into your account. Okay? Because you can have it, but that's not going to do any good. We need you to bring it in to the scholarship coordinator so that we can post it on your account. Okay? All right. I see a lot of you were able to log in. I see a lot of you are completing some pending stuff. And I see that this may have been very fruitful for you. So we are going to start asking a couple of questions. And I'll ask some of the OLs to pick some of the gifts that I have in the back so that you can give out the prices. Okay? So, first question, I need you to raise up your hand. Can anybody name the 5 different types of financial aid available? All 5. Right here, sir. Loans, work study, grants, other.
I know, right? Dude, who's gonna carry that? What the? Put him on.
One more.
I have 2 of these.
One more. Scholarships is correct. So 5 types of aid. Gentleman right here in the blue sweater. Pick one or the other. There we go. All right, next question. Next question. When you submit your FAFSA application, Rafa told you your FAFSA application was your ticket to get some type of aid. But the pending requirements that you are completing should complete your financial aid blank. What is that blank? Verification, over here, what is it? Application? No. You said the same thing. Okay. The financial aid application is the FAFSA. Clarify right here, that's fine. The financial aid application is the FAFSA. That's just step number 1. You then have to complete all pertaining paperwork to complete your financial aid eligibility and folder. To complete your financial aid eligibility and folder. So don't forget that to submit just the FAFSA and then that's it. No, you have to complete your eligibility folder. So right here to the gentleman right here. Good job. All right. Now, I have already showed you, and Rafa has already showed you how much money you can possibly get, right? And that money, for the most part, is free. Yeah, right. What else is free other than the Chick-fil-A you just ate? Orientation is free, that's right, but it's actually very expensive for Pedro to do that. Nothing in life is free. Let me put it that way. The federal government says, I will give you the money, but you have to give me in return 3 things. What are those 3 things? Raise your hand. 3 things. Yes, sir. Let me see. Attendance? Okay. Well, okay, let's call it yes. What else? 3 things. Grades? For sure. One more. One more. What else? One more. I'll help you because it's not that easy. No? Yes? Yes, the max time frame. Good job. Okay. So, 3 but you in return, time out. I still have more prizes, time out, listen up. I give you the money, but you in return have to give me 3 things. Grades, a 2.0 GPA, attendance, meaning you have to complete 67% of the classes you enroll for, and a maximum time frame. That means that we give you only a certain number of credits and you complete your degree within those credits. Yes? Good job. Now, if for whatever reason you do not complete one of those 3 requirements, what status of the satisfactory academic progress do you fall into?
Strike.
1 strike. What is it? 1 strike. You fall into some type of like Somebody said it. Warning. You fall into financial aid warning. Time out. Let's put this in perspective. You start in the fall semester. And for whatever reason you don't get good grades. I know that's not going to happen. But for whatever reason you don't get good grades, in the spring semester you're going to be on warning. Okay? What happens if after the spring semester you continue to not have good grades? Suspension is correct. That means, time out, not just for the gift, that means you don't get financial aid the following semester. Okay? Now, I get it. We're super cool. We have super cool gifts, right? We're going to give you a chance. Rafa told you how many appeals in your entire lifetime you can submit at Laredo College. Raise your hand. How many times can you appeal for financial aid? Gentlemen in blue. 6? Of course not. How many times can you appeal for financial aid? How many times can you? Okay, time out. I'm going to rephrase that question. Remember that an appeal comes after you fall into suspension. How many times can you fall into suspension and submit an appeal? No, 3 is not right. 1. We will give you over there. Over there. And then I owe him the suspension gift too. Right here. And then the warning right here for both of them. All right. What does that mean? That means we will give you 1 chance. And 1 chance only. Do not think you can get 3 chances to fall into suspension. 1 chance and 1 chance only. Okay? Now, to wrap up these gifts right here, I'm going to put for you an example. Listen carefully. All of you are already registered for the fall semester, I hope. Let's pretend you're registered for 4 classes. Okay? 2 of those classes are in the first 8 weeks. 2 classes are in the second 8 weeks. Yes? You're going to get started in the fall with 2 classes, and you completed them. Well, you almost completed them. Because then, something happened. Life happens, right? You started working more. There was an issue in the family. You needed to start taking care of a child. Things can happen. And you decide not to complete 1 class. Okay? That's the first part of the example. Then you start your second 8-week classes, and one of them is super hard, and you're like, you know what? Ain't gonna take that, professor, because I've heard a lot of things about them. I'm gonna drop that class. Okay? At the end of the fall semester, what will be your SAP status and for what reason? That's the question. Somebody asked, what's the question? That's the question. What is going to be your SAP status and for what reason? Very simple. 4 classes, you withdrew one the first term, and you withdrew one the second 8 weeks. You want to take a shot at it? What is going to be your SAP status? Nobody? Alright. Because we're running short on time. Somebody raise your hand, let's see. You are going to be, say that loud and clear. You are going to be on SAP warning simply by dropping 2 out of the 4 classes you enrolled for, because you will be under the 67% at 50% of your enrollment. That's strike number 1. You see how easy that was to lose your financial aid? Now, let's say you don't drop any classes and you pass the first 8 weeks with flying colors with 2 straight A's, but you failed the second 2 classes. What's to be your SAP status? What's going to be your SAP status? Again, 50% because you failed 2 classes. That could be right, but there's one more reason for that SAP status. You got 2 straight A's in the first 8 weeks, 2 F's in the second 8 weeks. What's the reason you're on SAP status? In addition to the 50%. What's the reason you're in SAP warning status in addition to 50%? Bad grades. Your GPA is now below a 2.0. Now you have 2 things to worry about next semester. Picking up your grades and picking up your pace. Okay? So yes, right there. All right. Any questions for us? Last question I have. Last question. Can anybody tell me the location of the financial aid office? Raise your hand. Right over there. Nice, loud and clear, because I can't hear you. The Lerma Peña building, right over there. Good job. All right, everyone. Everybody, we already practiced how easy it is to fall under financial aid warning. I don't ever want to see any of you again on financial aid warning, timeout, on financial aid warning, or on financial aid suspension, okay? Questions? No? Anything else that we need to add?
Any other questions from anybody? No? Perfect. All right, thank you guys for your attention. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your orientation.